Hello everyone, and welcome back to the RobeTheMatoran channel, and today got a very special Bionicle review for you all today, and that is set number 8697, Toa Ignika, with a piece count of 140 and retailed for just $20 back in the day of 2008, and this is one of the sets I actually did have back in the day, or at least my sister had it, but vicariously I had it. But regardless, this is one of the OG sets I just actually had and owned and looked at, and it's a very special one, and this is a very cool set. Mainly because of, well, one essential piece, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But if you want to pick this set up today, you're paying for a used one $72 and a brand new sealed one probably $200 to $250. So it's kind of expensive to get them brand new, but I don't think you really need to get them brand new, but you still can, so I go with used on this one. But alright, with that, I'm going to go ahead and dive right into the review. After the events of Marinui, when Motoro sacrificed himself to revive Matanui, the mask fell into a secret swamp, and being inspired by Motoro's great sacrifice, it decided to create a body of its own, wanting to know what it meant to be a hero like Motoro, so it created a body from the swamp and a vehicle, and it flew right out into Cardanui to help out the Toa in their great battle. Now, with that finally out of the way, we can finally get into the review of Toa Ignika, and I actually have the box for it for this time. I actually had the box last time with Mutran, but I just really like to show off the box. There is an instruction manual, but I really don't feel like I really need to show you all that, but here's the box, and it's a bit damaged, so bear with me here, but okay, enough of this. Let's go ahead and get into the actual set itself. And here he is, Toa Ignika, and I have to say that he is definitely not as exciting or as awesome as I remember him because, well, he's a bit simple on the design wise. Even with his board, it's kind of simple because it's a really simple design. There's not much going on with it. I mean, there's some blades sticking out, and they even have Kopaka's wings on the side where he can kind of like have wings jetting out, which that's cool. It does have some blue pins and stuff sticking out. Obviously, that's where you can put Toa Ignika on, and that's how he rides the board. But it's a bit awkward looking because it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit confusing because it's just all black and, well, a little bit of silver because of the weapons. But honestly, it's hard to even tell where I'm looking at because it's just kind of like a blob of just black and gray, or silver, I should say. But it's not bad. Like, it does what it's supposed to do. It's a board. It can, fly. It has it's very swooshable, but it doesn't really have any like functions. And usually with the vehicles, they tend to have more functions. I know this is kind of like, not say their first one, but definitely the earlier ones, because later on Bionicle will have some really fantastic and amazing vehicles later on in this year in 2009, because it's like they really go all out with the vehicles. But this one just really isn't all that special or that grand. I personally don't think it's good. Like, it's serviceable, but it's not what I would say good. It's not. It's kind of bad. Moving on to Toa Ignika himself, and there's a lot more to talk about. He's a lot more interesting to discuss here, so let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, I really like the color scheme. I think his color scheme is one of the best ones because it's very consistent, and I really like it. Yes, it's silver, but it makes sense. He has silver, yellow, and black, or Keat orange if you want to be, like Ultra Pacific, or I guess flame yellow orange. I forget the actual term, but I'll just call it Keat orange because everybody knows what I'm saying, that everyone knows and gets it. If you know Bionicle, then yes. Even outside of Bionicle, you kind of know what I'm saying when I say Keat orange, because it's Keat orange. And I really do like it. It really pops out. It really makes it stand out, honestly, for Toa Ignika here. But I will say the color, not the color scheme, but the build is a bit lackluster, and this is the only time I really make a point of I'm not a huge fan of the standard builds that we have of the Paraka or Ignika build. And he has a Paraka build. Considering his name is Toa Ignika, he has a Paraka build, which is a bit wild. I really think he should have had an Ignika build. Imagine he had like a black torso, like Ignika torso, and the chest armor was like yellow, like keyed orange or something like that. I think that would have looked way cooler, but they decided to give him a Paraka torso, which that's fine, but I don't know. It's a bit off-putting, honestly. I just don't really like it. It is recolored, though. I will give it that. It is recolored. I think the joints and the hand pieces are recolored in the keyed orange. I don't recall seeing them in any other sets, so I do think those are new in those colors. The feet isn't. We see now with Kitagu, so obviously that's not a recolor of the Metru foot, but other than that, he doesn't have any new molds besides the obviously huge glaring one that's literally attached to his face, and that is the, well, Ignika, the Mask of Life, which it is such a cool looking mask. This is definitely one of the best masks in all of Bionicle, in my opinion. This is one of my favorite masks. I really am so happy that I have this mask again. I really want that pearl gold one, but oh, that is a very expensive set, and everyone already knows what that set is. But regardless, we get this mask in silver, which there's a whole story explanation for it. I'm not going to really talk about it here, but it's really cool to see the mask finally a full-on depiction of the Mask of Life, because we seen it back in 2007, but we never actually got it until, well, now in 2008. But you know, it showed up technically with Vizon. Well, yeah, like it was like fused to his mask or whatever, but I really don't really want to count that as a Mask of Life because it just didn't really look like it. And even in the Bionicle Heroes game, it looked wildly different. So there was several different versions. Even in the comics too, it looked different. So there was a bunch of different designs, but I'm glad we actually have a full-on depiction of it. And also, yeah, this mask is definitely unique on its own because it has like an axle like in it where you put like an axle pin in it for you can attach it to the face. It doesn't have it like molded into the mask. So that's definitely interesting there. He does have, his weapons are pretty lackluster also because he just has like I believe a Hukimari blade, and then he has the Sky Blaster, which, you know, it's like, okay, cool. He can, you know, he can shoot out the Sky Blaster. It's really simple. You just fire it and then it packs a punch. And of course, he has your standard typical articulation, nothing extra on him. He's a bit slightly restricted due to the blades on his shoulders, slightly. Like, it's a bit awkward, like you can't just move it all the way because the blades will kind of like stop that, which I don't think the blades were absolutely necessary to his design because I don't really think he needed it. Honestly, you could have just kept the shoulder armor and that would have been fine. Like, the blades are just a bit extra for no reason. And even on the legs, like on the Rakshi leg, there's like this silver armor piece on the side. I get what they're trying to do to kind of make him stand out and have a bit more oomph to his build, but I just don't really think he needed it because it just kind of just, it just sticks out. Like, it doesn't really add or do much to the design, because if he didn't have it, it really wouldn't change too much. It really wouldn't. So I feel like it's just a bit unnecessary. Overall, I think he is pretty good. I just don't think he's as cool as when I got him back in 2008, because, you know, it is a pretty simple design, but it's still cool though, because obviously you get the Mask of Life. Like, that is a legendary mask. That's like one of the coolest masks to get, so definitely a plus on him. But aside from that and a few recolors, he doesn't really add much else. So yeah, so like, he does look a bit more complete when he is on his board, so definitely it's a full look and complete look when he's like riding his board, because then, you know, you feel like it's a complete set then, because honestly, with just, if it was just him without the board, I think that I wouldn't really like it all that much. And I do think this is a good set. Like, I do recommend people get this set, mainly because of the mask, but you could probably buy the mask by itself, but I still say it's still worth the get, because you do get some nice recolors, and honestly, it is pretty nice. Like, having him on display, it's pretty nice. Like, he looks good. Like, when he's on his board and he's displayed out just kind of riding it, it looks really cool. It's a really, like, just pop of just interest right there. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. And also, I forgot to mention that yes, he does have a thing, like a pin thing on his back. I don't know what you call it. I call it a backpack, that you can attach a Matoran to it. And they don't really advertise this anywhere on the box or the instructions or really anywhere, but you definitely can do it. I don't know if that was intentional or not, or maybe it was like a secret feature or something, but honestly, I kind of just see it as like a secret feature that they just said, oh, well, hey, you can also do that. If you know it, you know it. But if you don't, then it really isn't going to mean anything. But yeah, you can attach it to it, attach a Matoran to him. So I don't think it's really all that great looking, but you can. In conclusion, what do I think about Toa Ignika? I think he's a good set. For the most part, I think he's good. It's just that he doesn't really have much like to offer as far as just the mask and a few recolors, because the board itself is kind of it's all right, but it's nothing grand. It's kind of just a thing. It's serviceable for the set. Like, it's nice that they included it, but I don't think it's all that grand. So the score I give Toa Ignika, I give him kind of a low score. It's like a 5-7, and that doesn't mean he's bad. That does not mean he's bad. That just means that there's just other sets obviously in this year and other sets in the previous years I already reviewed that's just better, but he's not bad. He's just kind of, he's still above average. He's just in that average range, but he's slightly above it. But I do recommend getting him. If you don't have them already, if you don't have the mask, then let's just say get them. But 5-7, those are my thoughts. Well, tell me yours down in the comments, because I love reading every single comment. And join me next time when we look at Toa Ignika. And that is certainly an interesting review that I really want to talk about, but that'll be for next time. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, please like it and subscribe, and I will bid you all adieu.